I'm Chelsea,
And I'm Jenny.
and welcome back to Death and Gardening. Jenny, what you got for us today?
Oh, I have a fun story. It's not really fun, but it's pretty interesting. I will be telling you about Henri Girard.
Okay.
He was a serial poisoner in Paris, France, from 1912 to 1918.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, this is not going to be like a fun revealing type of who did it. This is just, there's so much about him and how he did things that it's
Yeah,
well documented.
I've never heard that name before either, so.
Yeah, I hadn't either. Okay, so a little bit about Henri. I will probably refer to him more as Girard because,
That's fair.
yeah. He was born about 1875. He was expelled from school twice for theft.
Okay.
He joined the army, and I'm not clear on dates on all of this stuff, but just sort of his life timeline. He joined the army, but he may have been discharged from the army, like, dishonorably.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't clear on that.
If he was expelled twice for theft, I can believe a dishonorable discharge.
Yes. And as we will learn, he was not good at really anything that he did. He kept a beer shop at one point.
Okay.
It was described in the article that I used that he traveled in wine, which I would love that job. I don't know what that entails, but that sounds great. In France, traveling in wine.
Yeah.
He was also a bookmaker.
Oh, nice.
And an insurance agent.
Ew. The door-to-door insurance salesman kind of gig, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know what insurance really looked like back then. Like, I know they had insurance agencies.
Yeah.
But I do not know what a typical insurance agent might do. He loved luxury, but he did not make a lot of money.
Yeah.
His father was a pharmacist and then a tax collector. And Girard was described as popular, charming, well-educated. He seemed to be very popular. A nickname for him was Gentleman Girard.
He was a very charismatic dude.
It sounds like it, yes.
Okay.
He also studied bacteriology. He kept a detailed diary and had many books about poisons and also had a laboratory.
Nice. I would like a lab.
Right? I mean, I don't know what that looked like in, the early 1900s
There's
either.
some basement room with the medical equipment. I don't know.
Right?
If his dad was a pharmacist, he could have had some extra stuff laying around.
Yeah. Okay, so then we're also I'm going to mention some of the women in his life.
Okay.
Most of these only, a lot of the people in this story have a lot of last names as the only name. I don't know a lot of first names. So for this first woman, she was only mentioned as Danielle. French is, I like French. It's not my specialty on how to pronounce things.
Forgive us.
Girard met her in 1897 and lived with her for 19 years.
Wow.
I do not believe that they were ever married. And then, I believe during the same time that he was with that woman, he was also with Josephine Duteau. She was a butter merchant. She was married when they met, but divorced so she and Girard could live together. And then, I don't remember the year that Jean Drouin came along, but she was also a girlfriend. She was employed by a large pharmaceutical products business. And yeah.
And these
So-
all happened while he was also in the 19-year situationship thing with the First Lady?
Yes.
Okay.
Because him and Daniel, however you pronounce her name, I'm so sorry, they did split up in 1916,
Okay.
which is sort of in the middle of all of his serial poisonings. Okay. So, I'm going to just go in a timeline of his victims, basically.
Sounds good.
And this is another one that I do not know his first name, but his last name is Pernot.
Okay.
Pernot was married with 3 children. He was wealthy and described as a simple, unpretentious, and gentle man. Pernot and Girard became friends, I believe, in 1910. And they went out together a lot. Like it was mentioned, they were seen out together a lot. They were good friends, nothing weird, just, went out a lot. They were described as thick as thieves, and they dined, like they went to lunch. I said luncheon a lot, which I love that, but they dined together a lot. They dined at Girard's house frequently. So in 1910, Girard had convinced Pernot to buy a life insurance policy for 125,000 francs with Girard as the beneficiary,
Shocker.
which he was married. How is his wife not the beneficiary?
They had a really strong bromance. I don't know.
Right? That struck me as odd. Yeah. And then Girard took out a second insurance policy for 85,000 francs. I believe that was also with Pernot's knowledge. So that was a lot of money. That's what, $210,000 or
then.
something. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
not dollars, francs. And I don't know the conversion. I tried to do that and that was really difficult. So in 1912, so this takes place in 1912. In May of 1912, Girard and Pernot went to a horse show together, and Pernot became ill that night. And then in August, I assume he recovered, but in August, Pernot and his family became sick with typhoid fever shortly after leaving to go on vacation.
Jeez.
Girard had been at their house frequently before they left. The family recovered, but Pernot was still sick when they returned. And Girard went to see his friend almost daily to check on him, see how he was doing. It was mentioned that he was giving him injections. And at one point he came over to give his friend, Pernot, an injection. And the excuse was, I guess his wife had been giving him injections. I'm assuming by a doctor prescribed kind of thing, like to
Yeah.
help him get better. And his wife had been giving them to him, but Pernot didn't like the way that she was doing it. I guess it hurt or something. And so Girard he came over to show her how to do it. And then in November, or that happened in November, him giving an injection, and on December 1st, Pernot died.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So Girard went to the insurance agency, and he was able to collect
please.
the first policy for 125,000 francs.
Insane.
He was not able to collect the second, though.
Ha.
Okay, so now we get to move on to his next victim. Also, just a last name, Godel. He was Girard's neighbor, and he worked as a cashier. Godel and his wife lived next to Girard and Daniel, his 19-year-long situationship. I guess they frequently dined together. This is a very common theme, which I also would just love dinners in France in like the 1900s. That also just sounds, especially his lifestyle, sounds very elegant and nice.
You know, except for the poisoning everybody that he knows kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in August 1913, so this is about a year after his first victim,
Okay.
someone impersonating Goodell took out a life insurance policy for 200,000 francs with Girard as the beneficiary. I think it was a friend of Girard's that went and took out this policy in his place, like claiming to be Goodell. And they didn't have a very strict identification process at this time.
No.
So I guess that's why it was so easy. But then Girard convinced the real Goodell to go buy another policy for 70,000 francs. So that's almost 300,000 francs on one person again. So, yeah. And then by December, Goodell had signed 4 policies without reading them. Mm-hmm. And Goodell thought that he was insured for 70,000.
Oh.
But Girard had insured him for 570,000 francs through all of those policies.
Should have probably read the policies. Be like, this is a lot of money.
And I think that's how he got away with it, is everybody just loved him somehow. So he was so...
Charm can get you far sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I was baffled by that number, and 4 policies, and without reading them, which read the contracts, man.
Yeah, no, always read the contracts.
So this one does not end in death, fortunately. Okay. Goodell survives.
Good.
But he was saved from Girard by being sent off to war in 1914. So, I mean...
Did he at least survive the war, too?
He did.
Yes!
He did get injured and was sent to recover. I cannot remember now where it was, but he did survive the war and Girard.
Nice.
So, yeah. Girard canceled the insurance policies because he couldn't afford to pay the premiums while his friend was off in war. So he moved on from Goodell. So that was 1914 when Goodell went off to war. Mm-hmm. In 1915, Girard met Delmas. He was a merchant and ran a tea shop, which also sounds lovely. They actually met during the war while they were both mobilized in the motor car service, but they never left Paris. So I don't know what that entails, if that was...
So they never got deployed. They were still at home. They just had... They were... Yeah.
Whatever
sent
job.
to work.
Yep.
All right.
Maybe driving important people around. Maybe not important people. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
And then Girard took out a policy on Delmas without his knowledge, just a few months after they met.
That's fast.
Yeah. And again, it's no identifying these people, going in and just taking out whatever they want. And I don't recall how much money this policy was.
Yeah,
for.
It is still weird to me that, like, obviously ID, yada yada, but the fact that the last one who survived, he had somebody not only go in and impersonate him, but then also send the actual person to go.
Right.
I feel like that should at least be a red flag, right?
Yeah. Well, and it is mentioned in the article that there were probably 4 or 5 different insurance agencies that Girard would go to. So he was just making the rounds.
Well, and if he was an agent, then he knew his way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were also medical exams that they had to take, like had to go through before, to make sure that they're in good health.
They're not going to immediately die after.
Yeah, no pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
So in March, I believe, of 1915, it could have been a year or so later, Delmas began to feel pains. In April, he contracted typhoid fever, which I know typhoid fever was like a thing. Like it was a thing that spread.
What does typhoid fever come from? Because for some reason, I immediately went to rats.
I know that was the plague, like the Black Plague.
Yeah.
I believe it's a bacterial. Yes, it is a bacterial infection from Salmonella typhi.
Okay.
That spreads through contaminated food, water, causing high fever, weakness, headache, stomach pain, and sometimes a rash.
But not death? Is that just the caveat on anything and just asterisk or death?
It can.
Yeah.
It can cause death. Yes, okay. It can. Yeah. The Google machine says that symptoms develop 1 to 2 weeks after exposure and require prompt antibiotic treatment.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, if you don't have treatment for that, then I guess it's not.
It gets
not
bad
good.
quick.
Yes.
Yeah. One of those.
Yeah. But he did recover from the typhoid fever.
He got the treatment.
And then Delmas learned that Girard had forged documents in Delmas's name, and Delmas cut off the friendship.
Good for him.
So he also survived, even though he got typhoid, and, that was probably a close call, but it...
Probably.
And then it is noted that after this failure of not killing his friend... He decided to, I guess I didn't mention that, yes, he was injecting his friends and these people with bacterial infections. I think that's been a theme, but I should say that outright.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. It checks out. But for ones without medical intervention, I mean, I guess, well, because he got typhoid before, is he just like, oh, I have this thing that's good for the immune system or something and starts injecting them, or?
Yeah, this one might have been the one, I didn't put it in my notes here, but it was something about Girard was telling him that he had I don't know if it was an injection or something, but that would make him lose weight or make him thinner. Okay. So it does make sense that but he's also putting stuff in probably drinks and, different things like a little bit unknown to them. But yeah, so this is where instead of just using bacterial infections, he began incorporating mushrooms of the Amanita variety into his bacterial concoctions.
Love that. Okay.
Yes, and that is the one from... It's the Amanita virosa that is the deadliest one. Yep. And I have it quoted here from the article. He was finding out that it was not really easy to give a person a fatal dose of typhoid fever by administering bacilli. I don't know actually how to say that. Yeah. I loved that quote. It was not really easy to give a person a fatal dose of typhoid fever.
No, just... No, because then you got to convince them to not go get treatment.
Right? And I get that it's not like prehistoric, medicine times. No. This is World War I times. So they have medicine. They have, all different kinds of things to help people. So to not go get... Yeah. And he wasn't a doctor, so it's not like his friends would be going to him for help.
No. Unless he really... charmed him up and was like, well, my dad's a pharmacist.
Right.
So I know stuff.
Right. I know a little about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So then there is the next one.
Yep. All right, number 3?
This is 3 or 4.
4.
I think 4. So this one, his name was Darrow, but he had a nickname of Mimiche, which I think is adorable. I don't know why. I don't know what it means, but it sounds cute. He was described, this kind of made me sad, as rather unintelligent, if not actually feeble-minded. Which made him the perfect target and candidate for Girard. I guess Mimiche did all kinds of errands for him. He was at his beck and call. He did everything for Girard. So this is in 1917. Mimiche was insured for 20,000 francs by Girard without his knowledge. Girard used a fake name to take out the policy and then transferred it to his other girlfriend, Jean, so that it wasn't coming back to Girard, because I'm sure at this point they're starting to get a little
suspicious of him in particular. Yeah.
So this one is actually Girard tried a lot with Mimiche. Girard invited Mimiche to dinner at his home, and I guess Girard was well off enough to have servants in his home. I'm
Dude
assuming...
has taken out so many life insurance policies, he better be.
Right. So whether they cooked the meals separate or they added the mushroom stuff to Mimiche's meal specifically, he made sure to tell the servant to keep them separate. Mm-hmm. And even after, like, dinner's over and they're eating, he told, his servant to... I think at first he told him to keep it separate and, like, to wash them separate or something, and then he decided to just send them to bed, and he took care of it. I think it was he and Josephine? I don't remember. Yes, it was him and Josephine. Girard and Josephine sent the servant to go to bed, so then they just cleaned it separately. They were very, very cautious about this.
Yeah.
However, Mimiche did not show any signs of poisoning. So, again, I'm like, did they just get the wrong mushrooms?
Or maybe the servants were like, these are not... We're gonna just admit these.
Yeah. I feel like Girard would keep it, like, he would be the one responsible for putting that stuff in there. So, like, that's... Yeah. I'm not sure how that one went so wrong, but it didn't work. And then I thought it was a funny side note that Girard went to prison for a short time right after this for completely unrelated things, and I don't know what for.
Okay.
But I don't think he was in there for very long because he came back and invited Mimiche to go to a cafe. And I guess while they were there, Girard asked Mimiche to go across the street and buy him cigars.
Okay.
And then Mimiche came back, drank liquor, and felt very ill on his way home. However, the illness passed and Mimiche was fine. And then a few days later, Girard invites him to the cafe again. This time Jean came along. And Girard again asked Mimiche to go across the street and buy him a paper.
Oh my God.
And Mimiche had the same symptoms as the last time, and he was telling his employers about how he was feeling or what had happened, and his employers told him to cut off the friendship with Girard. So he did.
His employers are like, hey, no.
Right? Like, this is fishy.
Every time you hang out with this guy, you feel funny afterward. Maybe don't hang out with him anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
I just thought it was so sad of, like, you go to a cafe, the same cafe twice, and he tells you to go across the street, get him something, and yeah. So, poor Mimiche. But he survived.
Good. Did he indeed cut off the friendship?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. And again, Girard was not able to collect a policy because he didn't die. Okay. So then we get to our last victim. Okay. And this one actually made me sad. I mean, they're all sad. Don't get me wrong. Girard's terrible, and they're all very bad.
And a failure. You weren't
Yeah.
lying when you said that he was bad at what he did.
He wasn't
got
good
one.
at anything.
He got the one, and I feel like that was more complications with the typhoid fever than it was his doing.
Right? And then I also was wondering, I'm like, was he just repeatedly injecting him with typhoid? Like every time he went over there? And like it finally just too much in his system and he couldn't recover? Like I don't actually know how that one worked.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sound pleasant.
No. All right, our last victim.
Okay, so then we get to a woman this time.
Not one of the ones that he's in a somethings with?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. However, it was, they met, I think it was Madame or Mademoiselle Monin. It was actually Jean that met her at a restaurant that they both, I guess, Jean frequented, and I don't know how they actually met, but Monin was a widow and a hat maker.
Oh.
In 1918, so this is a little bit after the last one, Monin, however you say her name, I don't know.
Is it Monet?
Monin.
Monin.
It could be Monin. So, the next victim is Monin. She is a widow and a hat maker. And Jean met Monin at a restaurant that she frequented. And I don't know if Monin and Girard had met at this time, but in 1918, Monin was visited by an unknown man who claimed that he was a genealogist and asked for her papers and said that he was arranging to claim an inheritance for her.
Yeah, so a scam.
Yeah.
But in person.
Yeah. It was a way for Girard to get her papers so that he and Jean could go to 4 insurance agencies
Jeez.
claiming to be Monin to get a total of 80,000 francs in life insurance policies. The agencies waived the first month's premium, like all 4 of them waived the first month's premium, so he didn't have to pay. But Girard would either need to pay the premiums or Monin would need to die.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so he's got a timeline of a month.
Yes.
Yep.
And I believe that he took out the policy at the beginning of April.
Okay.
So, since Monin was a hat maker, Jean brought a hat to her to fix. I guess it was an existing hat. Jean said to bring it to her, like to her home when it was done. So Monin brought the hat, and while Jean and Monin were trying it on in another room, I'm sure, fixing it up in a mirror and whatever, Girard was preparing some liquor for them to drink. So he was out of sight, and they asked her to stay and have a drink, before she went home. So when Monin was leaving, she was going to the railway station, and she started to feel very, very sick, to the point where she sat on a bench and could not get up.
Ooh.
And somebody had policemen come. 2 policemen took her home, and she mentioned that she had only had a drink with Girard. She didn't know what was wrong. Like, she couldn't figure out why she was feeling that way.
Yeah,
And she
I've
was
had
like,
liquor before in my life. I don't know why now.
Yeah, apparently it was like a sort of before dinner type of drink that was pretty typical. I think it was, I don't know how to say
When
it.
you're in France, they do that.
Yeah,
kind of
and I'm
thing,
sure
yeah.
it's just a little tiny glass of, something, and just sip on it for a little bit, talk, and go home,
Yeah.
So they took her home. They took her up to bed. They tried to get her to eat and drink, but her jaws were too contracted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like TMJ kind of lockjaw sort of situation?
I'm thinking that, or like how tetanus can do that too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Which it doesn't say which thing that he gave her, I guess. But, and I guess one of the policemen had also mentioned that she looked like she was going to die while they're taking her home. So,
So don't take her to the hospital then?
Right?
If she looks like she's at death's door, maybe.
Yeah.
Take her to the hospital.
And they did call a doctor, but by the time he got there, they were like, she's too far gone. Like, she wasn't dead yet, but they were like, we can't do anything for her.
Oh, damn.
So I don't know that there would have been anything
Yeah.
to do, even if they did take her to a hospital, which I still think is weird that, I mean, maybe that wasn't a popular thing, you know, doctors just come around but it was also wartime, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they were probably busy with other things also.
Right.
Yeah.
So after that, she died April 30th, last day of the month.
Just in time.
It was also mentioned that Jean and Girard did not attend her funeral.
Oh, come on now. If you're going to poison somebody, the least you can do is attend the funeral.
Of your friend, you know?
Whose life insurance you took out and are now going to get.
Yeah. So they didn't go to the funeral, and they went to the insurance agencies.
Yeah.
They were able to collect 40,000 francs from one insurance agency, but from two agencies, and they
Okay.
had gone to 4. So 2 of them paid out. One of them, though, thought it was a little suspicious.
Good. Good on that. Finally.
So they didn't even try to go to the 4th one. They're like, oh no,
Uh-oh.
this isn't going well. So after that, the insurance agency thinking it was suspicious, Girard felt that he would be caught, and they started destroying all of the things that he thought could incriminate them. He had kept a diary, which I forgot to mention, but he had kept a diary that listed the times or the dates and what he was getting, the different bacteria, because there was a store that he visited frequently, the same store also, and buying these things. And he kept a very detailed, like with the names of his victims in his diary and the times that he was going and purchasing all of these things.
So, okay. Having a victim diary with logs of that, sure, whatever. Serial killer thing. Got it. Why would you then also have a detailed description of the drugs, where you got them, when you got them, how you got them, like that? That's a bit much.
And of all of the things that he destroyed, he didn't destroy the diary. You know, the main critical evidence against him.
Yeah, that's just... Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, he is an idiot. Okay.
So, Josephine also destroyed books and bacilli that she
Not
had
the
in
right
her...
book.
Right. It was a lot of the poison books and
Oh, yeah.
different things like that she had. I believe it was also at her house or maybe her and Girard's house, that there was part of a laboratory.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if it was part of, and they had destroyed the other part. I'm not super clear. The insurance agency that was suspicious ended up bringing a charge of fraud, and Girard was arrested.
Nice.
And I'm assuming in their investigation, they figured out that Jean and Josephine were also very complicit in this.
Obviously.
So they all were set to go on trial. Josephine, a quote from her in court, she said, I believed in him implicitly. He was a god for me, and so learned.
Okay.
So I think that gives a really good how he was able to get all of these people
Yeah.
to do things for him and to not be suspecting of him.
Again, he was very charming.
Right?
We've seen nowadays what charming gets you and how far you can get in life with that. So, yeah.
Yep.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So, basically, I guess I'll say that Jean and Josephine were sentenced with long terms of penal servitude,
Okay.
which I didn't look into that and what that what that entailed. I think I saw it from one article that it said life terms, and this one just said long terms. So, however, Girard, right before he was supposed to go on trial, he had in his possession some of his bacteria, culture, stuff, and gave himself typhoid fever and died.
Oh, the coward. Yeah.
So basically, he left his two girlfriends to take the fall for him.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, and also, Jean and Girard had gotten married in 1918.
Okay.
And I don't know if that was anything to do with... It was after they sort of got caught. It was like in that period before he was arrested. So I don't know. They wanted to show unity. So I don't know if there was a thing about...
And neither of those were the 19-year relationship, right? That's still crazy to me. What? Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, he let them take all the blame and punishment and then offed himself so he didn't actually have to face it. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I do.
He's not even a proud serial killer. He can be like, yeah, I did it, and brag the entire time during his sentence.
Right? And I mean, I am a little bit surprised that he didn't, like, let it slip to someone
Right.
other than his girlfriends. Like,
It was
knowing.
probably the only thing he was good at. Is
Right.
keeping his mouth shut.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like the personality that would also be like, oh, I got all this money from, you know. And yeah, did any of his friends question where all this money was coming from? Or
If they did, he'd probably just put on the charm and was like, yeah, no, I've done this for years and I got it from here and here. And you know.
Yeah. I do think, I mean, there is one good thing that came out of this whole thing. It led to the creation of an identity card that would have either a picture or a fingerprint, at least the descriptions of the person. And I'm assuming they would, you know, get that done in an official way. And then it was an optional thing at the time that this article was written, I believe in 1921, 22. It was an optional thing at that point, but it's to prevent like
insurance fraud
insurance fraud.
Yeah.
And, you know, insurance agencies could then ask for that identity card to make sure that they were who they said they were. Because that, I don't know how they got away with it so much.
I thought they went to for the last one, 4 different insurance companies. That's crazy.
Yeah.
At least one out of the 4 was like, this is weird.
Right?
I don't know about that.
I mean, it's got to be the same people working there for the most part. So when he comes to claim, I mean, he could only do it a couple of times, but because the other one, but I mean, he was there taking out the insurance policies. Yeah. So he's got to be sort of known to them. And they're like, which he wasn't collecting on all of them. But
yeah. I'm also a little surprised maybe at maybe not the one that was mentally feeble, but at least the other one who survived didn't just like go around telling a bunch of people, yeah, no, this dude's weird.
Right? I mean, it is Paris and or, you know, the surrounding areas of Paris also, but it's like the circles, you know, that he was in, it's got to be...
Let the gossip reign.
Right? But I guess, yeah, most of his targets were merchants of some kind and, you know, maybe not necessarily in his social circle, so...
Yeah. Still wild.
Yeah. Mushrooms and bacteria. Who knew?
Yeah, the bacteria is crazy. The mushrooms make sense. The fact that
the bacteria wasn't enough. So he had to add in deadly mushrooms.
I still think that the servants probably did him a solid and was like, these are poisonous. We're not going to put these in here. You
Right?
totally don't mean to kill this guy, right?
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's crazy. Well, I mean, at least he died, but he also went out on his own terms, so that's disappointing.
Yeah. They mentioned that he escaped the guillotine, so I mean, I think
He was gonna die.
Yeah, I think I might prefer to go out by typhoid fever also. I don't know. Neither of those is a great option.
I think that this is just a morbid, fun question. I don't know if I would want to suffer through typhoid fever rather than deal with the anticipation of a guillotine and just have it over with quick.
Yeah, I think it would be the anticipation though, and like I don't know.
I don't like fevers.
I don't either.
If you're gonna do it, just do it. I don't know.
But I also don't like anxiety.
Fair.
And something about your own terms versus someone else's.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't really like either option though.
Well, what if you gave yourself a strong enough panic attack with the anxiety, anticipating the guillotine, that you die on your own terms anyway?
I mean, true.
It's the fun questions. Oh, man. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Actually, I'm surprised that he didn't just, like, go back out and get some mushrooms or something. Well, since those failed him, that's probably why he didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be. Yeah.
So that's Henri Girard.
Yep. Henri Girard.
Crazy. Now I see why you said the poisonings of and not the murders of, because he only got 2 of the, 4 or 5 victims they tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
And none of them were his girlfriends, which is actually also kind of surprising.
Yeah, and they just went along with it and thought it was fine.
They were probably getting luxury treatment with the money, so it benefited them more than harmed them, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Bang. Well, yay, insurance identification.
Right. I was happy. I love it when there's like at least a positive outcome in the end of terrible things.
Yeah, something good for the future did at least come from that, which is nice.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. And there he is if you would like to see.
Oh.
Right? He's not bad
He
looking.
looks normal.
Yeah.
He just looks like an average dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, it's always, yeah. No, it's the normal ones that you got to be suspicious of. The normal
Right.
ones and the quiet ones.
It's the quiet ones for
Ew.
sure.
He wasn't quiet, but he was normal.
Right. Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for informing us on him.
Yeah, that was a fun one to look into.
Yeah.
Very, very fun to read old articles about him.
Dang.
Yeah.
And then next week it's my turn again.
Yep.
Okay. I'll find something good this time, I promise. Not that the last one was bad.
Yeah. It was great. His name was hard, but you know.
Yeah, I'm going to find a better name. Easier name. All right, well, we
Yeah.
will catch you in the next one.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.